Hello, everybody. Dave Bazar here. Today we have the July position report that has come out, and I have with me Mike Fenn. Mike's Director of Sales, for those people who don't know. Mike, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mike, could you lead us through this position report?
So this is the July position report, as you said, Dave, and this is the last position report for the 2019 crop. I think that we finally have something good to talk about.
Oh, that's great. It's been a long time, too.
After all this COVID stuff, finally there is something that we can sit and have a positive conversation about. So, our shipments were up for the month dramatically.
What's dramatic?
17%.
Wow.
So it's actually the best month that we've had for the year.
And that 17 is 180 million pounds?
180 million pounds. So the next closest year that had kind of that increase month to month was September. It was up 16.2. Okay. So this is our best performance in the last month of the crop year. Expectations weren't really set to have this type of performance on the shipments. So I think that California is going into the new crop with a little bit of confidence now. If you would have asked me last position report, what we thought, or maybe even two position reports ago, I think we were all pretty negative. Couldn't really see very much light at the end of the tunnel and kind of thought it was here to stay. So I think we finally have something positive to be talking about.
Do you have any sort of, what would you tell me is the reason we're shipping so much all of a sudden?
I think the price is working.
Yeah.
Right? So I definitely think even with all the uncertainty out there, these prices work. So I think that speaks volume for the product that we're selling, right? Even with the ports being shut down and lockdowns happening, we at a blended price of probably $1.75, we're moving a lot of almonds. Obviously, we're selling a lot of new crop. We're finishing the current crop. Buyers, are still digesting in this 180 million pounds some pretty expensive contracts, but it's still moving through the system.
Yeah, well, that is great. So you want to try to take it by the numbers then?
Yeah. So maybe what we can do is we can summarize the 2019 crop, kind of how we came into this crop, what we produced, what we've shipped, and kind of what we're going into the 2020 crop with. So we started with a 318 million pound carry-in from the 2018 crop, which was pretty historically low in terms of percentage of shipments. We then produced a crop of 2.551, which is right in line with where some people were estimating it, and about 300 million pounds higher than where the objective estimate had come in. Then, taken off a loss and exempt, we actually have a total supply. We had a total supply for the 2018 crop of 2.818 billion pounds. We then ended up shipping 2,372 million pounds, which is leaving us with a 446 million pound carry-in that we'll take into the 2020 crop. That, as a relation to our total shipments, is about 19%, and it's about 40% larger than the carry-in that we had coming into the 2019 crop. On the yellow box there, Dave, that is a running total of the 2020 crop commitments of 695, almost 696 million pounds. That is just showing what we have sold so far for the 2020 crop. That, if we assume we're going to have a 3 billion pound crop, we've basically sold about 23% of the new crop. So that is actually 9% more sales on the book than we had at this time last year. So I think that kind of puts us in a pretty strong position, Dave.
And that yellow box is somewhat of a new item on the shipment report.
I think it's 3 years old.
Yeah. So it just represents what the packer has sold but not shipped.
Right.
So
2020 crop sales. And so then next month you will then see all of the commitments as one. So that 264 million pounds, a portion of that is going to ship, a portion of that 695 is going to ship, but you'll probably see close to 1 billion pounds worth of commitments on the book in August.
And I know it always confuses people. They'll say, okay, you tell me that there's 400 and let's call it 50 million, 446 that's carried in. Now you've sold this 695. Where is that 450?
So we'll see that 446, right, which is that carry-in. It's not saying that it's not sold. It's just not shipped.
Got it.
Right? So a portion of that, well, actually, I think it's 264 million pounds of that 446 is actually sold.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference is then going to be an unsold carry-in that still needs to be that will then become commitments.
And that might be a little more confusing for the average man.
Right.
But basically you're saying the 446, a bunch of that's already sold. All it's saying is it hasn't shipped out of the facility yet.
Right.
In addition, this new crop number is something that's been sold and it'll be shipped later down the road.
Right.
Who knows when. So I would think that both numbers, though, bode fairly well for the coming shipment months, correct? Like August, September.
Yeah, I think so. I think, if we look back at, what August of 2019 shipments were, they were down 4% from the year before. So we shipped about 148 million pounds in August of 2019. And that was really due to the fact that you didn't have that much inventory left over to ship. You had 318 million
almost
pounds.
Too tight. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was too tight. Now you're looking at, I guess, a healthier carry-in to be able to make sure that those shipments can be there, and I think they will show. Yeah. So I think as a grower today, I think you should be positive. I do think you've come out of the doldrums of, oh man, this price is here to stay. We have a monster crop. Nothing's getting better. I think today you see, we actually can ship this. People are taking it. People are buying, and I would expect good shipments to come.
That's great, because it has been so long since we had some glimmer of hope, and there it is.
Right. We always just kept saying, it can't get worse from here. It can't get worse from here. And finally, we're right.
Well, you know what they say about a broken clock.
Right, twice a day.
There you go. Okay, well, thank you, Mike. And
thanks, Dave.
We'll see you in a month for the next one.
Thank you, sir.
All right.